Okay, welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Mr. Dan. Today we're gonna make, I hate saying it like this, my daughter always picks on me, but we're gonna make a nice, easy dish. It's like a carnivore sandwich hack. I've been doing this a couple, 3 or 4 or 5 different ways I've been trying to do it. And I always wanted a little more airy to it, you know. So anyhow, I was watching a YouTube video with the Carnivore chef, I think it's called. But anyway, he was making something similar, and he threw in some baking powder, which I don't know why I didn't think of that. But anyway, probably because I was using pork rinds, I wasn't thinking of bacon or something like that. But anyway, it's an easy recipe, so let's get to it. It's an alternative to just eating just plain meat, whatever. You want to get a little variety, a little better taste, but it's all carnivore. Anybody can eat it. Okay, let's go. Okay, you see I got a griddle here. That's just because I'm going to make some kind of probably ham and cheese sandwich for you guys, just to show you how easy this is. Here I have the baking powder, and I have about an ounce of pork rinds, ground up pork rinds. And of course I got the one incredible edible egg. That's going to go in there. That's it. Baking powder, pork rinds, and the egg. That's what's going to make your bread. Okay, as you can see, I'm going to get me some. I got me about a half a teaspoon, half a teaspoon. I'm going to try just using a quarter, but I don't know. It doesn't matter that much difference, but at any rate, I seem to think I tried this the other day, and it gave me the thing I was looking for, and I thank the carnivorous chef for doing that. He's got a pretty good channel. I'm not sure if he's a chef. He might be. I know the way he talks on his YouTube thing. He works he's a cook in a restaurant. Lives out of the back of his van. But he comes up with these recipes. So at any rate, that's where I got the baking powder idea from. Might have said baking soda before, but it's baking powder. And as you can see, I'm mixing this in. My baking powder isn't the most fresh one, I think. It's been there for, because I've been doing carnivore now for a little while. And I don't use it as much. You never use it as much unless you're baking something, really. But I know one thing, this does give it that little airy, bubbly, like a little piece of bread. You look at it, it's got a bunch of little holes in it. Well, this helps do that. Okay, and this is another thing. I'm not going to make another dirty dish right now. Hopefully no eggshell. Saved by the bell, huh? So at any rate, we're going to mix this up here. Start mixing it with a fork. And like when I made my certain things before, I always say let it sit, let it soak up all the excess juice. Yep, that's what you want to do. That's not an eggshell, folks. That's part of the baking powder was still there. And we're just going to let this sit for a couple of minutes until it thickens up a little bit. While that's doing that, I'm going to get me my pan and preheat my oven. I'm going to do my oven at 375. I'm probably going to cook it for about 8 minutes. You can do more or less, whatever you like. I've been just doing that 375 thing. That seems to be the going trend nowadays. You remember years ago, it used to be 350 for this, 350 for that. Well, now everybody's doing 375, so. And it works. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes. Just let this sit. Okay, so then you get your mixture, and see it's kind of thickened up. And I'm going to use my trusty dusty, well, it ain't dusty, I washed it off, but my little silicone spatula here. And what we're going to do is just kind of level it out. You don't want it too thick, you don't want it too thin. Actually, you can make it the thickness of a regular piece of bread if you wanted to. You just got to cook it a little longer. But you just keep smoothing it out, smoothing it out. What I found too, the other thing is if this starts getting too tacky, just put a little bit of water on there. And it helps it to slide a little bit better. But just keep pounding it away. And as I'm going, I'll show you, I'll do like this, I'll straighten it out. Try to make it like a nice rectangle shape if you can. But just keep pounding away. It takes a little bit of effort here. This is the worst part of the whole thing, is trying to get this to like a nice even consistency. Otherwise you end up with a little bit like a half a sandwich or whatever. But if you keep just patting this out, now see, now it's getting a little tacky, so I just take a little bit of water like that. It makes it easier to spread this out. And I think that the steam from the water, the little bit of water you put in, it's going to create a little bit of a steam, and that'll help also to cook it. Trust me, this is not going to be, you want to make sure this is cooked so that you can get it off the pan. And like you see here, I got a silpat. You can use parchment paper. You can use anything you like. Just butter it up. As long as you can peel it off. This is going to be, it's not going to be hard and crusty. That is not when it comes out of the oven. Take a little bit more water here. Like I said, the reason for the water is just to help you get it to where you're nice and smooth. It makes it easy to flatten this out a little bit so it's not as sticky, tacky otherwise. I think the Carnivore chef guy, I think he uses 2 eggs in his recipe. I don't. I've made other things that didn't puff up the way I wanted. Came out good for what we did, but Penny said it's too eggy. I was putting like 2 eggs in for a couple ounces of this and that, and she's like, it tastes too eggy. So I backed off on the eggs, because that's the kind of guy I am. But this is really easy. You'll see. It comes out nice. You get a nice crisp on it when you cook it on the griddle. You can cook it in a pan. Cook it any way you like. I'm just doing the griddle. The other day when I was making these, I made 2 at a time. So I used the griddle, and it cooked everything nice. So I'm going to use that again today, even though we're just making one of these bad boys. And this is just me being anal. You don't have to spend this much time on this. See, my original thing was I'm trying to come up with a Philly steak and cheese sandwich. Well, not a Philly, but a steak and cheese sandwich. And I want to try to make a nice little crusty bread to go with it. And this is what I got. So this is just one, enough to make one little sandwich, a little snacky sandwich. They tell you no snacking on Carnivore, but you can snack on this. Now the truth is coming out. You can snack. Just don't snack on candy and cookies. But if you have a little bit of a munch, this is what you do. You make something like this. It don't take long. You can do it whatever you want. Ham and cheese, like I'm doing here. You can do bacon, cheese, and egg on here. You can do tuna fish. You can do chicken salad. You know what I mean, chicken salad. There's ways of making a mayonnaise. So if you don't want mayonnaise, just regular chicken will do. But at any rate, see, this is, I don't even think I put a whole teaspoon of water on here. So this is nice. Just add a little bit here, a little bit there. Just get everything nice. And this is it right here. You guys might say this is too much to do to grind your own pork rinds or whatever. You can grind these up ahead of time. You can also make these sandwich things ahead of time, put them in the refrigerator. But this is me being anal, that's all I'll say. It's just, everybody knows Mr. Dan's anal when he's doing this stuff. And trust me, it's not going to come out 100% perfect, but this is something that you want to do. It's just for you. You can make it for people. You could have breakfast in the morning. I'm trying to just get everything more or less even now. I'm burning up a lot of camera time here, but no, not Mr. Dan. No. All right, that's enough of this. I'm gonna make a mess. What I'm gonna do. All right, let me turn my oven on. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, you can see 375, and it's ready. So we're going to take our ready meat here, sandwich here, bread here, whatever it's called, pop it in the oven. Hit start, and you see it's 8 minutes, and we'll be back as soon as this comes out. Okay, guys, the oven just gave me the old beep beep. There you have it. See, nice thickness on that. So let this sit for a couple minutes and let it cool a bit so I can handle it, and we'll be right back. Okay, so it's cooled down enough to where I can handle it a little bit. And we're just going to take this and plop it right on there, and look at that, peels right off. Nice. Trust me, I've made so many different kinds of this, trying to get it perfected, because I got this thing I want to make. And let this cool a little bit, and I'm going to flip it over. See, it's kind of pliable. See, it doesn't, not stiff. So anyway, let me just give this a minute, and I'll be right back. The other thing is, I don't know if you guys can notice, but you see there's like little bubbles. That's what I was looking for, make it a little airy. And that's what the baking powder does. Anyway, so let's flip this over. And then we're going to try to cut this about half, just to see what half looks like. That's pretty close, I think. Now see, if you make this bigger, like when I make it with two batches into one, I get two pieces just like this, and I make a monster sandwich. Okay, so the reason I have this ham on a dish, I wanted to show you guys. This is what me and Penny do. We fry up all our ham at one time. She buys it. It's in that package. I don't know who sells it. It's already pre-sliced. And this is what we munch on during a week. That and bacon. Penny loves the bacon. Okay, so we got the skillet heating up. Now you guys, if you go crazy, if you try this, one thing I did find out that you put too much cheese close to the edge, and you'll have cheese everywhere. So what I try to do is give myself a little bit of room, just like that. And it seems not to go everywhere, because one time I made a big mess and cheese got everywhere. So anyhow, let's bring you over to the skillet. It's just about there. The griddle, skillet, whatever. Bring my little piece of butter over there. And I got the griddle here is at 350. I know I just said, but that's for bacon, it's 375. So let's put a little bit of butter. That gives it that nice little buttery flavor to a point. You know, this isn't exactly your number one piece of bread, but it comes. This comes pretty damn close. Let me tell you. So, and we're just going to set this on there just like so. And we're going to cook this down. You want to let the cheese melt a little, because what we're going to do, once this cheese is melted, this is not going to, it's going to slide up if you try to flip it. So you take this one and you flip it over to the meat side once the cheese gets heated up. You'll see this is going to have a nice golden crust on the other side. Just like the cats, you know what? The cats meow. How about that? All right, we'll be back in a minute. I want to clean up around while this is cooking. Okay, so you can see the cheese is starting to melt there. Pull this over a little bit. Now look at that. Doesn't that look just like the real deal, a real grilled cheese sandwich? Or okay. Let me cook a little on this side and we'll flip it and be right back. Okay, I just flipped it. And I'm telling you, look at that. It looks just like a real grilled cheese sandwich, huh? But this is what I'm doing for my, when I get to it, I'm going to make a nice cheesesteak sandwich. And this is what I'm going to make the bread out of. Remember, this is all edible, 100% edible for carnivore. And if you're not on carnivore, you can try this. You can eat it on keto. You can eat it on regular diet. It's got a heck of a flavor. So I'm going to take this off in a minute and dish it up. Okay, as you guys can see, camera girl scarfed off with the other half. Elmo took a bite. So we're not going to hit the table today, but I'll give you a little bite taste test right here. Take a little bite. Got a nice little bit of a crunch. If I didn't know any better, that's why I was eating a grilled cheese sandwich. Or ham and grilled cheese, whatever. Anyway, if you guys like the video, give us a thumbs up, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't yet, and don't forget to hit the notification bell when it pops up. There's a little arrow down right below the video box, you hit that, The drop-down box will come down. That will give you a link to Cook on Mr. Dan Facebook page, a link to my daughter's artwork site page, and a complete list of the ingredients we use to make this delicious, delicious dish. So, my friends, stay hungry. When you are, come back and we will give you another delicious dish just like this. This is Mr. Dan saying, go carnivore. We're still losing weight and our lab work is looking good. We're out for now. So,